Hello YouTube, Mack back again, and as promised today I will be taking a look at what you can see in the video title, the 30-minute mission kits. Now originally I bought one of these, you saw the unboxing video before, I will provide a link to that down below. And I decided with these, I wanted to go with something a little more cheap than Gundam kits, a little simpler. Easier to build that I can do if I come home from work and I'm just feeling, annoyed or not really up to building something that's going to take me days and days and days. I've been able to put each of these together in about maybe an hour because I'm a little pedantic with assembling things. So these have been perfect. I got, oh, well, you'll see. You'll see what I've got. So I decided let's go with one of each of the first kits that were available, and that is the Alto frame and the Portanova frame. So these are bog standard figures. As you can see, they come in 3 colours. So they're always split between 3 different colours across the frame. Grey for your inner pieces, and on this one we have a nice, I would say royal blue for his armour, and a lighter blue for just some of the tones throughout. I'm just going to hold them back a bit. My camera's being a real bitch about focusing. And then you always have a different tint for the camera. So this is the Alto frame. And this is the Portanova frame, and this is Portanova White, who has this really light purple, white, and the grey, dark grey, again, for your frame. The frames are standard across the units. Sometimes they come in different colours. So the frame that you have for this one, for all the arm joints, shoulders, neck joint, knees, are exactly the same, you will see, on this one, which makes these highly customizable. I can just take, let's say, his leg off and his leg off, and switch them around, and because they are exactly the same size, they have no problems walking a mile in another man's shoes, so to say. And this comes down not just to swapping the limbs, but the limb parts. Everything is swappable. Now, obviously, you won't be able to swap this white piece here with the dark blue piece on this one. It's got to be at least the Portanova frame that you switch over, but you can switch out the foreleg, you can swap out the shin piece, you can swap out the feet, and I suppose these armor pieces here, which are mounted on this little ball joint, you can swap those out. But you'll see that to an extent there is a lot of customizable options available with these figures, which was again a big appeal to me. They're simple and they can be customized beyond belief. So we'll just reassemble these two and then we'll get straight into the review. Let's pop his leg back on, set him down. He was the first one I got, the one I unboxed. And he blew my mind so much I had to order more. So obviously we have our little Alto friend here. And as I said, you can make these whatever you want them to be. So far as I'm concerned, at least with what I've said, just throw a little backstory in. Alien planet, nothing left but robots that have now reawakened, and we have these guys versus these guys, and they don't know why they have to fight each other, but they are. They just know it's in their programming, and now, nope. At least that's what I see. I see some people using them as mechs, or using them as human suits of armor, like Iron Man, whatever you want to do with them. Anyways, the articulation is the same across both figures, so I will show that with each one. They have at the rotations at the arms for each, which is just the same on this one as it is on him. Arms come way out to the side, and the shoulder armor rotates upwards on both. A little stiffer on this one. So he has a bit more range in that, but it's only because his armor only comes up so far. Oh, wait, hang on. Nope, there we go. Exactly the same. Well, that's good then. Rotation here. Don't need to show that on both, but I will anyway. You have a single joint at the elbow, which is the same again for both. We'll just bring his arm forward so you can see that. And ball joint at wrists, which are standard Gundam weapon hands that you find across most of the Build Fighters line. Their heads are on ball joints, which can look this far up, this far down. Now I think that is the only difference, mostly because of the head, just that his head can look this far up, this far down, whereas his has a lot more range of motion in it. But same again, it seems to be the only variation between them is the head and the torso, because his torso has this piece of armor in the way here. So he can move forward a bit, just about this far, but not nearly as far as he can. But he makes up for it with his head joint, he makes up for it with his waist joint. They both can look back a little bit, but not far, but it's just the way the joint is designed. But, you know, they're near enough the same. And as you can see, the feet like to move around a lot because I'm only moving these the tiniest bit, and they're falling over left, right, and center. And again, I am moving them beyond their center of gravity I had set them up for, so that's kind of my fault in a way. Making sure there's no stress on this arm joint here. This one's really tight for some reason. I might actually loosen it up on this one, but you can see the simple construction of it is just, there's the elbow, bit of armor over the top, slip this in, shoulders clip on, and they too can be swapped. Allowing all kinds of customization. And just one more thing before I put that back on is if you have any other C joints across the figures, which you do not on the Alto, but you have plenty of them on the Portanova, you can actually clip these to other parts of the figure. Again, allowing for a lot of customization. And the only reason this one does not have those joints is because he has the 3mm ports all over him, more than the Portanova does. He has one's on the shoulders, which they both do, one's on the chest, and just behind this little panel here, which is a little bit hard to get out. We'll see if I can get it. Come on, don't fight me. Be a good boy. There we go. He has a third one back here, and he has the same under his. So we'll just pop that back on for now. A reason I say for now. He has 2 back here, whereas he has 4. And 1 down here, but he has 2 on each leg and on the bottoms of the feet. You can remove these the waist armor to gain 2 more. Ow! Oh, that just went right under my fingernail. Yep, there we go. Now we'll move on to leg articulation with these guys. So you've got the movable waist armor, side skirts almost, not with this guy. Well, you can move them, but you know, they're not going anywhere. They're just really, it goes up, it goes down, doesn't need to, but it does. And as for with both, the legs come really far forward. So if you want, you can sort of angle them up to support each other on there, do a little bit of teamwork. See if we can get an Emperor's New Groove pose going on in one of the photo sets, walking up the wall. At the knees, they have a really nice double joint, which again is the same for both kits. Actually appears to be a little more on this one. Yeah, it is. So it looks like each has their strengths and their weaknesses. So we'll just stretch those out again. We'll bring the arms back down. Don't know why I've got them all out to the sides and that. Oh well. Now at the feet you have a rocker joint, which is really, really good. You don't see that on many kits these days. At least ones that aren't just a ball joint, even though it does have a ball joint and rocker joint as well. Feet can move a little bit up and down because of that ball joint, and you've got the ball joint in this armour I mentioned earlier. So you can just wiggle that around a bit. These things become incredibly poseable as a result of all this. So we'll stand him up here and we'll put him a little more like this and stand them up next to each other. The only accessories that they come with, there are 3 basic ones. So we'll get them reorganized back to static, and you can see the accessories that each one comes with as standard. So at least out of the box you have something for them. So the Alto comes with this almost beam rifle slash submachine gun. I prefer more submachine gun, but that's just me. And the handle is actually molded in, the stock back here is molded in, folded out to rest around the arm, so that you clear that even if he's holding it straight, unlike a lot of Gundam kits where you have to angle it like this to get it out of the way of the arm. They've actually incorporated that into its design, so that looks nifty. And if you get any of the expansion packs, you can just take this off and clip them into this sort of square rectangle peg here, and you can remove this for more of a sniper scope on it. So that is his medium range weapon, whereas the Portanova comes with this more alien-like weapon. I'm going to say this one more beam rifle or grenade launcher. So your scopes are here, but there are 3mm posts on the back of them, and each of the weapons, well, no, actually his doesn't come with any 3mm posts, but his does. And you have this little handle that you can take off along with this to give you a thin rectangular post to put in weapon upgrades. So we'll just change that back. And if I take the weapons from their hands and flip them both around, you'll see on their backs here, he has this slot here that this can just store on here. And he has this one much the same, but different backpack to store his weapon here. And so far as weapon storage goes, I actually quite like that. It looks alright on them. The next weapon I have, which, now this is something universal across all my kits, is they work better in the right hand than the left hand. Don't know why. Don't ask me, just must be a design flaw. Or something wrong with every single one of my kits, so it must be a design flaw. That or I just got really unlucky. It's these little knuckle duster, I would call it, almost. Yeah, I mean, they could have given us something better than this. Even a dagger would have been nicer than this. So that is his. Nice little design. It's more of a flat design, straight up knuckle duster. Whereas his is more of a 3-prong kind of knuckle duster. like a sort of overly aggressive boxing glove. But they feel very fragile. They really do, because they have this tiny little peg here to clip this into, and it doesn't clip in both sides, it just clips in on one. I am afraid of that breaking over time. Luckily you've got a spar back here, but all the extra weapon mounts, like all the axes, also go in by that same tiny peg. I don't think it feels secure. But oh well. And the only other accessory you get with them, and it's a different design for each one again, is Roy. These are support units, they say. Now, in my eyes, I consider these to be little hacker/computer drones. Some people use them as machine gun drones, or even you'll see with one of mine, I've added it as a piece of a weapon. So again, these can be whatever you want them to be. You can change out the heads for even just this, which I'm not going to do because it's very hard to get them off. And then use this, you can get the claw attachments, you can attach this like a little claw. You can do whatever with them. I like them. They're nifty little drones, and each is a different design. So we will move these off to the side, and now I will show you, at least with the Alto here, one of the expansion packs. Now this is where these things improve tenfold, is you can buy different armor and weapon packs to go with them, to change these and customize them in any way that you wish. So the one I have here is just a sniping kit, and it gives him armor to look like a sniper. It doesn't give him the weapon, just the armor. The weapon you can buy separately with the first weapon pack. So you take these shoulder pieces off of the top here. We again take this torso piece off. And now we also take the battle mask off. Just like that. We'll put these off to the side. And we will now take these new shoulder pieces up here and clip those in. There we are. And we will replace that teeny tiny little torso piece with this breastplate. Replace the head with this long range sniper scope. Just make sure that goes on properly. And you also get a shield with it, a really nice shield, I will say. It comes in two pieces. So with the shield you have this one piece as a bog standard piece across all of them, which I will show you on frame. That is from this other set, this piece here. And then they add an additional piece to it. In the case of this one, it's this long wing piece here. And a little handle that rotates. And I like to peg that just up here. And now this is where things get a bit more interesting. Because these are 3mm ports all across this, they are compatible with build fighter parts from Gundam. Now I have some parts. I have a custom campaign set I got for the Freedom Gundam, which was given to me by a friend. No interest in getting the Freedom Gundam, so I've just got the weapon parts. On top of that, when I bought all 6 of my Leo model kits, which you can see the review of earlier in my videos, I also had 6 packs of Gunpla campaign parts come. They were free weapon kits. Never used them for anything, because I had no need for them across my Gundams. But here we have the beam rifle I have found a use for here, until I get the sniper rifle for this kit. I can equip it with him. It's a little loose in the hand, so I will get the proper one, but for now, I can equip him with this. And now he has a sniper. Whereas this guy, if we get rid of this melee weapon I really don't like, not to worry, because that Freedom Gundam weapon pack has my back, and I can take these and clip them on under the arm. And if we get him into a nice pose. And now he has giant sword guns for arms. So we'll set him back here. And we will set him here. Let's say here. And now I will bring in the other two I have, because these customizable parts are all across the range. They're not just these two sets. You can also get this commander's armor, which you saw me in the unboxing. I've attached it to his gun here, and as you can see, I've turned the knuckle duster upside down, attached Roy and one of the blades from that Freedom Gundam set. So I'll put him back here. So, oh, whoops, a doodle. We will put him back here so he is in focus. Stay standing. Do not fall. He will send you away. We have people. And this one that was gifted to me by a friend, who I've turned into a heavy. So there you have it. The 30mm campaign kits. I absolutely love them. I've no reason to paint any of these. I like the way they look. Just by taking a few parts, being a little inventive, getting some armor, and clipping things on the way they're not meant to, like the shield that's attached to the gun instead, and having these attached here where they're not really meant to be. They color match, so I don't even have to paint them. Using this rifle instead of the one he's meant to have, and putting the shield up here in the arm. I've now made these exactly, just something that I appreciate more. And that Gatling gun suits him, and it's not even the same color as him, but it just looks so right. These are so customizable, they're so good. I can't recommend them enough. And you can find them in different places across the UK. You can find basic sets, or you can go and buy the Build Fighters parts and customize them how you like. I have a couple more coming this week at some point, but just because they're so good. They pay for themselves and what fun you have with them. So I would, if anyone questioning whether or not to get into them, I would definitely recommend them. They're worth the investment. So if I was to give these a score out of 10, I couldn't do it, because I could say that I don't like this one the way that he is, because I don't like this sniper equipment. Not to worry, I have this equipment that'll turn him into more of a Gundam style commander class, and a backpack coming that'll turn him into a flight unit with an equipped heavy weapon. I'll just change it into what I want, so I'm not going to bother giving these a rating out of 10, because, well, if you don't like it, just change it. It's very easy to do that. So, would I recommend them? Absolutely. Would I say that they're for everybody? Definitely not. Some people like a challenge. The only challenge with this is what way you're going to make it look, but they are definitely not challenging kits in terms of putting them together. They're quick, they're easy, they're fun. And if that's what you want, these are definitely for you. So with that, get the fuck out of my house. Mack Mod out.